Yo, I'm burning up, hot flashes got me sweating like a sauna, body feeling different. Holder creeping like a drama, clock hits 3, wide awake insomnia. Got me stressed, mirror shows dry skin, used to glow, now it's a mess. Achy joints, back stiff, tailbone hurts too. Trying to stay fly, but this fupa making moves. 1 minute I'm chill, next I'm seeing red. These mood swings got me tripping, messing with my head. I go through all these symptoms, do you go through it too? Is it just me, or you riding this wave too? We gaining that weight, feeling that anxiety, no libido, brain's foggy, where's the clarity? It's feeling drained, fatigue, got me moving in slow-mo, getting pissed off at my man for nothing, yo. Confidence lost, self-esteem took a dive, but we queens, we rise, menopause won't take our vibe. Ladies, speak up, tell me, do you feel this too? We riding through the storm, but we'll make it through. Don't let this pause make us stop, yo. Stop, yo, stop, yo, stop, yo, stop, yo.
What the Pause shares my personal experiences with menopause and is not medical advice. I am not a medical professional, and opinions shared are my own. Any products mentioned are based on personal use and not endorsements. There are no paid partnerships unless stated. Always consult a healthcare provider before making any health decisions. Welcome to What the Pause? Lovely listeners, thank you so much for your outpouring of support in the past 7 days. I appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and questions. I couldn't believe I got a few, so that made my week, and I really do hope you had a good one too. On Wednesday, I must admit though, I did not want to get out of bed. I was headachy, I had joint pain, and where I live in southwestern Ontario, we tend to have 3 seasons happening in one day. So we had some rain, then we had snow, ice, thunderstorms, and then a snowstorm. So this is what I had to endure. And I know if you are very susceptible to these types of environments and it negatively impacts you, I completely sympathize. But, I didn't allow myself to have a pity party. I actually stayed in bed until 4 because I knew I was not going to be productive. And did I feel guilty? No. Did I need the rest? Absolutely. Self care is number one, ladies. Put yourself on a pause for that one day or take a nap. Listen to your body and tell everyone to bug right off. So that was my week. And I hope, again, that you had a good one in terms of your mental and physical state. Today's podcast, we're going to be talking about hormonal archetypes. Now, as you know, I am currently becoming a certified holistic menopause coach, and the accreditation I am doing this through is Fit Chicks Academy. Yes, Fit Chicks Academy. And I've known this company for about 15 years. They actually were one of the companies I was looking at in terms of getting ideas for personal training certifications at the time. So they've created these archetypes based on the symptoms that people will often experience or not experience. Now, when I become a coach, I will be giving my clients a test, a little quiz to say, which hormone archetype are you? Now, there are 7 in total. I'm going to go through each one really quickly here because I know we don't have a lot of time. But in terms of type 1 is your estrogen excess. And I know it's the most common pattern in perimenopause. Here are your symptoms for those who have estrogen excess. So you're going to have heavier periods, more painful periods, more frequent periods. Often clients will like to have an IUD or they're using some kind of birth control pill. You have insomnia, night sweats, weight gain, breast tenderness, headaches, lower libido, lower, not disappeared, and you will become more irritable. And this is exactly when I took the quiz, I was definitely one of the estrogen excess was one of the archetypes that I have. Number 2 is your cortisol craver. And this is when your hormones are out of balance and you have a high cortisol. So people say, why am I gaining weight around the middle? It could definitely be due to the high cortisol that you are experiencing due to the hormones being out of place. And this also creates a lower amount of sex hormone production. Yay, I know this is really thrilling and so enlightening. These symptoms that people have as a cortisol craver are weight gain or initial weight loss and then weight gain. And when the weight gain comes, it's exactly in the stomach. You have fatigue, especially in the mid-afternoon. You have hunger cravings, and you may have difficulty staying asleep or falling asleep. But it's your emotional state here that's different from everything else in all the archetypes. So you're actually in fight mode when you're a cortisol craver. You're always in a heightened state, an emotional heightened state. It could be of anxiety, or it could be depression, but these are where you're experiencing these emotional symptoms. They are actually more heightened when you are a cortisol craver. Number 3 is your liver lover. Yes, because liver plays one of our main roles in our hormonal balancing systems. Because if the liver is out of balance, it will have definitely an impact on different hormonal systems during menopause. So the physical symptoms of a liver lover is the medications that may cause your liver to be toxic, endogenous hormones, which these ones are produced by the body. You will also feel fatigue, headaches, allergies actually become severe. And then there's also a sensitivity to caffeine, alcohol, and medication. So those are your liver lover symptoms. Type 4, we're going into the mighty mitochondria. So this is the energy produced in the cells. Think of them as the engine that fuels the cell and gives it the energy it requires in order for you to use your muscles. So lots of chronic fatigue here. You have headaches, migraines, muscle cramping, and poor recovery. This is all to do with your powerhouses of the cell, we call them. And we need these to survive, and it needs to complete its daily to-do list, let's just say. So what happens is mitochondria break down energy or glucose into a molecule that's called ATP. And it will do the work of various tasks using the cell. So what happens here is that when you get older and you tend to eat inflammatory foods, or you may have more stress, there could be environmental stresses and toxins that your mitochondria might break down as you get older. This is why it's very important, guys, to do your fitness and weight training. And I'm going to be talking about that in my next podcast next week. I keep on saying webcast, guys. Sorry. I was a webcast producer for many years in Toronto. So if I keep on saying that, my apologies. Podcast. All right. Type 5 is your broken burner. This is where your hormones are out of balance, but it's your thyroid and insulin causing that imbalance. You have elevated insulin, so your resistance to insulin is very high. And then you have a sluggish thyroid function or slower metabolic rate. These symptoms will include weight gain, fatigue, especially crashing in the afternoon, hunger cravings, feeling cold. And if you are of pregnancy age, there might be infertility. And a lot of emotions are mostly negative, so you're really in a depressed mood. Type 6, I'm not even going to go through because they're called the unicorn. And I don't know one woman who has not experienced a symptom or no symptoms of perimenopause, okay? I don't believe it. So I'm going to leave it as is. And type 7 is your, what we call the low. So this is the most common pattern in menopause, right? So you hit that 1 year, no periods, and that's your menopause state. And then the next day after that is post-menopause. So what happens here in the low is all your hormones are low. Your estrogen is low, your progesterone is low, and your testosterone is low. These will come up later though, post-menopause, approximately 5 years or greater. Why is it happening? Because everything is consistently low. So they play a role in their mental state, emotional state, and physical health. These symptoms you will experience are vaginal dryness, irritation, you have a hard time building muscle, you have joint pain, and difficulty sleeping. So, those are the 7 hormone archetypes for women. And I hope that when you listen to the symptoms, you can identify which one is you. Now, I was a combination of both the they even said the low, but really it's more the estrogen excess and cortisol craver for me. And when I went to see my gynecologist and then my menopause specialist said that HRT will do it. And I'm very, very relieved that it has worked. So for those people who cannot take HRT but have recognized the symptoms that I just explained to you, we're going to go through a very small list of natural supplements. Okay. So this is supplements that I know friends of mine are using. My mother used it. Others in the family have used it. So here's a few. You may have heard these already, but the black cohosh actually does help with hot flashes and night sweats. My mother really, really got a lot of relief using black cohosh. St. John's wort, you probably heard of this, dealing with mood swings and anxiety, but be careful because it can also interact with other medications. We have evening primrose oil that helps with hot flashes, insomnia, and joint pain. You can try maca root. Now, I tried maca root with a holistic nutritionist, but it didn't work for me. I didn't feel any differences. So again, this can be tailored to your needing. Ashwagandha. This is one that's been very popular the past 5-7 years. So this is an adaptogenic herb, pardon me, guys, that may help with hot flushes, night sweats, mood swings, fatigue, brain fog, and sleep patterns. Okay, so some herbal remedies here. I actually take these vitamins and minerals, magnesium. So I take that every night. It helps me with my sleep along with my progesterone that I take at night. It also helps me have bowel movements. Yeah, so those who are suffering from constipation, you will get relief from that. And I also take my vitamin D, which supports bone health and may help your joint pain. Being in a very cold climate or being where there's not a lot of sun, I have to take the vitamin D. And every doctor I said has said the same thing. And they also say that just 1,000 milligrams is not enough. For me, I take about 9,000 a day until spring hits, which is now, but like I said before, doesn't really feel like it. So really consult a healthcare professional before starting any new supplements, guys. And remember, it's not and supplementation is not a replacement for medical treatment. If you're finding that these things are not working for you in the natural sense, please, please, please seek a menopause specialist so they can get you on the right treatment track and make you feel so much better again. Well, that's my little take on today's topic, but I am so excited to introduce to you all a new segment that I'm going to be bringing in every week, and it's called Pause Talk. Yeah, so this is where I will dive into your questions, your stories, and we're going to really talk about it. You write in, I will read it, and then I will give some kind of answer, and together we're going to figure this whole thing out. Just real straight talk, no filters, no fluff, no fluff. We're going to tell you exactly what's going on. All right, so let's get into it. I have one question that was really, I see this often on many comment posts on Reddit, on menopause pages I follow on Facebook and Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, blah, blah, blah. There's so many now, right? But Laura from Texas wrote to me directly to my Gmail account, which is whatthepause@gmail.com. And she says, "Hi, Emilia. Love listening to your podcast, but I do have a question that I'm struggling with. I'm 45 and have perimenopausal symptoms, night sweats, brain fog, mood swings, and fatigue. But my doctor is completely against HRT. I live in Texas, which doesn't make it any easier for us. He believes HRT causes cancer and that no woman should be on it. I feel dismissed and out of options. How can I advocate for myself and explore safe, effective treatments when my doctor won't even discuss it? Wow, Laura. First of all, I feel for you. I know that many doctors, not just male, but female, do not advise HRT because they don't want the accountability. And even more prominent is the fact that they lack the knowledge. I have two girlfriends who actually finished medical school, one in the States, one in Canada. They're in their early 30s. And they said to me, Amalia, you know what? We don't even talk about menopause. We talk about it for 1 hour in our entire medical school training. So, ladies, even if you're going for a younger 35-year-old gyno or specialist, more gyno, I would say, or doctor, please don't ask them anything about HRT. Chances are they do not know anything about it. And you need to find that doctor that's well-versed, female, and knows what you're going through. Because hopefully they're going to be going through it as well. I have a really great relationship with my doctor. She just does everything I tell her because that's the way we roll. And she's going through menopause as well. Yay. All right. So, Laura, what I like you to do is think about changing your doctor. Very, very important. I don't understand why females still go to male doctors. There are many females out there that are older, our age, that know their stuff, or they're just about to retire. Unless you can convince me otherwise, that there's men out there that champion perimenopause, menopause, and HRT treatments, please let me know. But Laura, what I like you to do is also find a menopause practitioner. And there is a great website that has a searchable database and it includes specialists in menopause care. So the directory I'd like you to go to is menopause.org. Very simple, very short and sweet. Because you know what, Laura? And to my lovely listeners, you are your only advocate. Find that specialist and you know what? Call the receptionist and see what's the best way for you to get to a referral from that menopause specialist. She may find back roads for you to go and see the doctor without having to go through months or weeks or years of waiting for that referral to go through. But demand that referral. Thank you, Laura, for your question. And if you have any questions relating to the pause, please email me. I would really love to get this out to you guys and hopefully you can relate and I can answer a lot of questions about what you're going through. So I hope I have left you with more food for thought. Next week, we are diving into the pause and fitness. I'm going to tell you about my 30-year experience as a fitness instructor and what I went through in my teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and now in my 50s. And we're going to discuss the misconceptions of only doing cardio because that's very 80s. We're going to talk about lack of motivation and those that are afraid of building those huge muscles like professional bodybuilders. Ladies, don't worry about that because that's not going to happen to you. But I'd love for y'all to listen to this next week. If you have any questions about the pause and fitness, please send them my way. I cannot wait to have this discussion with you. To my lovely ladies and guests, thank you for listening. You can follow me on Instagram or subscribe to my Linktree or YouTube channels. You can email me and listen when you can. And please don't be afraid to share.
Yo, I'm burning up, hot flashes got me sweating like a sauna, body feeling different, holder creeping like a drama, clock hits 3, wide awake insomnia, got me stressed, mirror shows dry skin, used to glow, now it's a mess, achy joints, back stiff, tailbone hurts too, trying to stay fly, but the fupa making moves, 1 minute I'm chill, next I'm seeing red, these mood swings got me tripping, messing with my head, I go through all these symptoms, do you go through it too? Is it just me, or you riding this wave too? We gaining that weight, feeling that anxiety, no libido, brain's foggy, where's the clarity? It's feeling drained, fatigue, got me moving in slow-mo, getting pissed off at my man for nothing, yo. Confidence lost, self-esteem took a dive, but we queens, we rise, menopause won't take our vibe, ladies speak yo.